Good evening, everybody. I will talk English and Mechimano will translate me. Like you introduced, so I just a little bit present myself. My name is Phra, it means monk. Ofer, it's my name. And originally I'm coming from Israel. I am a monk, Buddhist monk from the Thai tradition. Maybe I explain you a little bit what is the meaning of Buddhism and what is the connection, why the monk have to teach meditation, and what is all, we are teaching what we call Vipassana. So I teach you the basic things and then develop it till we practice together. Maybe to explain you this, I will tell you some story from the past. We go 2,500 years in the past, in India, in Nepal. Story about the prince. This prince, he was living in the palace till he reached 29 years. So most of the time he have good times, good friends, good food, everything very, very nice. So no problem. Actually that time already he get married and he have little baby. But most of the time he stay in the palace. He didn't go so much outside. And when he was 29 years, this is the first time he start to go out and to see the life outside the palace. And then he start to see things that he never saw before. He start to see that people, they're getting old, sometimes people getting sick, sometimes people dying. Start to see what we call suffering. So he start to ask himself, why people suffering? Why we are so miserable? Why we are uncomfortable in the life? What is make us suffering? So he decided to leave home, to leave the palace, and to go to look for teacher to teach him how to overcome suffering. Like I said, that time he was already 29 years. So he left the palace and then he looked for different teachers, 6 years. But he couldn't find any solution. Nobody can teach him how to overcome the difficulty. So after 6 years that he was traveling in between different teachers, he decided to look for himself. That time he was already 35. And then what he make, he sit under the tree and start to make different exercise for himself. He sit since afternoon till the next morning and try to make different exercise. And in the next morning, he find out what he look. What he find out is something very, very simple. He find out how much is important to live in the present moment, here and now. He find out that if people, they will be mindful about the way that they are thinking, about the way that they are speaking, about the way that they are acting, they think better, they speak better, they act better, they be better people for themselves and for others. For example, he find out that if people they are driving and they will be mindful how they are driving, the possible that they make accident is less. If people that are cutting the vegetables, they pay attention, they be mindful, they concentrate how they cut the vegetables, they don't cut the finger. If they pay attention how they are eating, the food will go into the stomach much better, everything more relaxed. If we go on the stairs, we just pay attention how we go down, we don't lose the balance and fall down. We are talking to our friends, if we pay attention how we are talking, we don't hurt the friends, we don't speak something wrong. It means that if we pay attention to how we are thinking, how we are speaking, how we are acting, we will be much better people. Like this, he was sitting at night and he start to look. He see he have a pain, he pay attention to the pain. He see, oh, maybe he hear something, he get afraid. He pay attention to this that he hearing, that he afraid. So slowly, slowly he can understand himself. He can understand the life much better. What we say, he understand himself, he understand the life. What we call, he get enlightenment. Actually, his name was Siddhartha Gautama. And the language that he speak, it's ancient Indian language. It's what we call Pali language. Most of the words that we are using when we want to explain about his teaching, we talk about the technical words from his language, from Pali. In the moment that he understood himself, he understood the life, he understand why we have difficulties. They wanted to say the one that get enlightenment, the one that understand the life. So they use the Pali words. The meaning of the word understanding in Pali, it's Buddha. That's why the title they give him, it's not professor, not doctor, Buddha. Sometimes people don't understand, they think Buddha is a god. No, Buddha is just a human being. He could see clear that life and to understand it better by mindfulness. The technique that he found out, they call it Vipassana. Vipassana, it's two words that connect together in Pali language. It's the words Vi and Pasana. The meaning of the word Vi is clear, objectively, intuitively, from your own experience. The meaning of the word of Pasana is to see. When we make them together, we get to see clear, to see the things as they are, to see from your own experience, not because you have to believe. And the basic things for this is to develop mindfulness and concentration, so you can live your life in the present moment. Actually, everybody of you have mindfulness. If I ask you now, what you're doing now, what is your position? What you're doing? You're playing football, you're flying, you're jumping, what you're doing now? You see, this is mindfulness. You just know that you are sitting. You just know that you are listening to me. This is mindfulness. You see, it's so simple. Everybody has. Immediately everybody of you know I'm sitting. You see, everybody has mindfulness. Even little baby, I ask him, or boy, I ask him, what you're doing? Say, I play football. You don't disturb me. You know we play football. But I want to ask you something. Happened to you sometime that you put the key, you don't remember where you put it? Maybe you put the handy, you don't remember where you put it. Or maybe you go from home, you don't remember if you closed the door or you didn't close. Why? You do something, your mind in another place. How many times you do something and your mind in another place? Like I say, everybody has mindfulness, but it's not developed. I can compare it, everybody has muscles. But I ask you, can you take this table, you bring it here? One person can do it? Very heavy, Cannot do it. So if we want to develop the muscles, what we have to do? We have to go to the gymnastic room. Maybe they give you only 1 kilo. And then after some time they check, oh okay, now we can do 5 kilo. Maybe you go up to 10 kilo. 50 kilo and Schwarzenegger already. You see, we have to train. We want to develop something, we have to train it.
Yes.
If you want to develop the mindfulness and the concentration, you have to train it. People they say, oh, we make so many things, how can we be mindful? If you start from something simple, you can develop it, and then you can use it in your life. There is different teachers, different exercise, different way to train mindfulness. We are practicing the technique that we learned in Thailand. Our teacher in Thai language, we say Ajahn. So his name is Ajahn Tong. What Ajahn is doing is taking 3 exercises for the Thai tradition, and we are training ourselves to be mindful. The first exercise, we call it mindful prostration. I teach you how it is, and officially what we are doing, one of the main things for the mindful prostration is to teach us to be mindful for our end. We are doing so many things with the end, we are learning to be mindful. Teach you and then we can practice together. No problem, even we are sitting on the chair, we can do. Second exercise is training for walking. We call it walking meditation. Maybe a little bit, not so much place here, so maybe walking meditation, we just show you, okay? Maybe we don't practice together, but we will show you that one. And the third exercise is sitting meditation. The walking meditation, we will show you, it's very simple walking, but the important is not the walking meditation. The important is how you run to the bus with mindfulness. Yeah. And then we make sitting meditation. In the day we are doing long hours of sitting. We are training to be mindful in the sitting also. How do you feel now after the meditation? More relaxed? This is very, very great things for your mind what you make now. Because the Buddha, he was scientist. He was thinking why we are suffering, why we have all this sorrow and sadness and pain, and why we are suffering so much from all this sickness. And when he searched about this, he find out that there is very strong connection between our mind to our body. He said we are suffering because our mind has dust. Our mind is not clean. He said the problem is not outside, the problem is inside. We have anger, worry, doubt, lazy, craving, all this rubbish inside the mind. That's why we are suffering so much. There is anyone here who don't have? Everybody suffering from this. Yeah, for sure, we don't all the time anger, we don't all the time lazy, but sometimes these things that exist is coming out, and then and then I'm worried, then other things, so I don't see them all the time. But what the Buddha also find out, that luckily we can clean these things from our mind. For example, if you have big tree of anger, every time you stop, you acknowledge anger, boom, you cut one leaf. Boom, you cut boom, one time not possible. But slowly, you are cleaning the dust from the eyes. Every time the worry coming on you, you acknowledge, oh, now worry coming on me. Worry. You see that slowly, the worry will get less and less.
Not
some things with the greed, with the lazy, with all these things. You describe it like a dust in the eyes. Every time you acknowledge something, like you clean the dust from the eyes. When you are cleaning, you are learning to overcome all these things from the mind. Your life will be much better. Also, the body will be much better. Very interesting to see people coming to practice meditation. Many sickness they recover. Many examples. There is book full of examples of that. Interesting, because just yesterday someone sent me by the email and said, can you get for me this book? One very important teacher in the world, he recovered from migraine, for example. I can tell you my personal story. I was disabled before I start meditation. I start my meditation 21 years ago. Actually, before of this, the stuff between the bone cut. They call it chondrum. I don't know if anyone knows this. I cannot climb the stairs. I cannot go with the bicycle. And when I practice meditation, by accident I come to the temple. When I practice meditation, slowly, by concentration and mindfulness, the legs recover. So when you have a pain, you acknowledge pain, you know that you see that if you acknowledge, you train enough, you can overcome the pain. You can see how it changes, because usually the pain, we're holding it so much. We don't want to let go. When you acknowledge it, slowly it's changing. Let go. This kind of sickness recover from the body. It's what we call, sometimes we use the word of psychosomatic problems. Okay, this is come because of the stress or because of the mind. But it's very important to understand, because our body is also made by vitamins and also by temperature. Sometimes people get it wrong. They say, okay, so I just make meditation, I never go to the doctor, I never check anything, I don't take any medicine, and this is wrong. We have to use the combination. Also the vitamin, also the food, also what we are eating, everything, the medicine that we take is important. We are a very big machine, many things inside. It's not mean only, okay, I close myself in the cave, now I be Superman. But it's no doubt, and today there is many scientists that they make in America, and many with the Dalai Lama, about the function between the connection between the mind and the body. So when you are building your mind, when you are practicing and you are building the concentration and the mindfulness, and you are building your mind, also its effect on your body. The body can function much better, and many sickness recover. In our temple and other centers, we are teaching courses about 2 weeks, so people can come and practice there. I stay now in Gotzenheim in Dreieich, near Frankfurt. We have there the monastery, we teach there meditation. We have other centers also in Bayern, near Munich. So then we are teaching there courses, longer courses. Sometimes people don't have time for a long time, they can come even for a short time. Every day is beneficial. So any one of you wants, you're most welcome. Maybe I will let you now the ability to ask questions.
How about the mindful prostration? If I'm getting lost somewhere, where's the reset in the mindful prostration where I acknowledge?
Good questions. You see, in the mindful prostration, we are actually these 3 exercises, we have reason we are doing 3 of them. Mindful prostration, walking, and then sitting. That's also why we are doing one after the other. We are like a stairs, building each other. The mindful prostration, actually we call it recall the mindfulness. When we are doing this exercise, it's good to look at the end. So when the mind is jumping, we don't pay attention. We just all the time continue to look at the end. In this moment, actually, we are building more the concentration, because we think that you come from shopping, you take the child to the kindergarten or whatever, and you want to come to practice, your mind is still in the shopping, still in the work. Something like we are telling, that's why we are concentrating on the end, something like we say to the mind, now you will be here. The mind. And then we make walking meditation. Walking meditation has 5 benefits. Walking meditation increasing the energy and the effort. Usually people, they think only sitting meditation, then they tire so much. Walking meditation make us awake. Walking meditation train you to walk longer distance. People practicing walking meditation in the future, they can walk longer distance. Walking meditation developing the concentration and the mindfulness. Walking meditation improving the system of the body. The digesting system is working much better. Sometimes people practicing and then suddenly they start to see the stomach, and the blood system also better. Walking meditation is fixing old sickness. People, even old sickness for a few years, suddenly coming up. Long recovery of the body. Even sometimes sickness we don't know we have inside. When people are practicing, suddenly it's going out. And then we are coming making sitting meditation. Sitting meditation, taking the mindfulness and the concentration that we are building in the walking, bringing them up into wisdom. So that's why we do these 3 exercises.
It's important that these 3 exercises are done in connection, or can they be like spread throughout the day?
Better to do it in one time. Even short time. Sometimes people have problems. They cannot walk. They have to stick. Sometimes people, they have other problems. They cannot do something, even cannot sit. We give them laying down, I teach you. In wheelchair, we teach. I have one friend, he about 80 years. He have the problems that the blood is not going to the legs. The doctor says you have to cut the leg. When he was young, he had polio. So after this, it's come to be the polio only effect when he was already 70 years. The wife asked me, please, Ofer, can you come to help? I come and I teach him something. He's sitting on the wheelchair. Only he can do like this. I teach him. Eben, 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 Zenken, 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 Eben, Eben. That's all what he makes. And the doctor said, another 2 weeks you come, I cut your legs. I told them, it's not enough you make the exercise, you have to acknowledge also. You have to be mindful and concentrating on the movement. So it's not only the movement physical, also the mind will take effect. After 2 weeks you go again to check in the doctor. The doctor checks, you don't know what happened. You say, I don't know what you are doing, but continue to do it. You have to understand it's not magic. It's work. It's effect between the physical actions and the mental actions. Even if you can do only 3 minutes walking, 3 minutes sitting, better than you do only sitting. If you know possible, only 1 action, okay. So if no possible, no possible. For example, if you are in the airplane or whatever, maybe you cannot, so you just make maybe sitting, if you, I don't know. But if you can stand, you can do some actions with walking or whatever, it's beneficial for you.
Is it possible with the walking meditation to get a positive effect on the immune system?
Yeah, for sure, no doubt. No doubt.
Also for very heavy and serious illnesses like MS, where the immune system is working over.
Sure, I was working with MS. Before I became a monk, I was working with MS. Much better. Yeah, much better. Control also. Also control the, how to say, the, like navigation. Much better. But very important to do the things slowly with concentration. Sometimes we think we have to do many. This is not gymnastic. We are not coming to be Superman. We are coming to very important, slowly with mindfulness.
Also through a longer period of time.
Wonderful, yeah, correct.
Weeks, months?
As much as you be more mindful, better for you in your life. And not to do fast, to do slowly, easy. Geduld. Sometimes we want to go to do everything. No, You do slowly, slowly. Whenever you need to do fast, it automatically will come fast with mindfulness. Everything. We are driving and eating together and reading the newspaper and everything at one time. How much they are. Boom, 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 boom. Stress so much. What? And then many sickness. Became sick so fast. And then we can become sick very fast. One thing we improve also about the cancer, for example. Okay. Many things from the blood problems, stomach problems, high blood pressure, low blood pressure, and migraine problem in the, joints. Can help, please.
And what about psychosomatic sicknesses like fear, panic attacks, depression?
Helping. Building the confidence. One thing's good for sleeping meditation, I say. To go to sleep, laying, your head touching, you lay down. Easy. Rising, falling, like a little baby. Laying, you lay down. Easy, comfortable. Thinking coming, let them be. Bring yourself, laying. Help to overcome the stress and the fear and the worry. I have one student, she said she stopped taking pills for sleeping because she sleeps much better, actually more than once. Helps them to sleep much better. More relaxed and sleeping one time, not wake up every time in the night. And also opposite. I have one student, she must sleep every day maybe 10 hours. Like sickness like this. Yeah. She practices meditation, she can shorter and shorter the time for sleeping. This sickness overcomes.
So, but this will be with different exercises, or?
No, the combination that I show you. It's just a matter of time of practice. Everything should be gentle. Everything should be with a middle way. We are not making any magic and we are not running anywhere. We just want to be happy. We have patience, and with exercise, with patience, we can overcome this difficulty. First, we have to accept ourselves how we are. And with tools, we can learn to overcome and improving the life. That's why when people coming, everyone is training by himself. There is no group teaching. Everyone is different. So one needs this one needs this one needs this one. Everyone is different. Everybody has difficulties, but lucky we have tools to overcome it. But I think the wisdom is to use everything what we have. So how can we use all of them to make the things better? The teacher that has experience, he know how to use the tool. So he can give you exactly the tool, what I gave you, but in which way to use them. Some more walking, some more sitting, some more like this. But actually the same idea. By the time when the concentration and mindfulness is going high, we change for you the walking and the sitting. With something like we give you more weight. So there is development in the meditation. So it's not mean that we are only coming and close ourselves in the cave and practicing. This is the tool you can take to your life. You can live your life in a better way. That's why when people coming and finishing the course 2 weeks or whatever, I tell them, no, you didn't finish. Now you take the tool of the mindfulness and concentration, take it to your life, and be better father, better mother, better children, better human beings. And actually we continue guiding them by telephone. When they can come, people can come when we are meeting, we can meet very good. But sometimes I stay one place, what does it mean that they stay alone? No. I have 2 telephones with me. So if people need advice anytime, they can contact. My work 24 hours. Listen.
The meditation is implied daily, so you do it once a day or several times?
You see, we say to people, if you be mindful all the day, when you wake up in the morning till you go to sleep, it is very good for you. You are cooking, you have to be mindful. You are showering, you have to cook to be mindful. You go down on the stairs, you go shopping or whatever, you have to be mindful.
Yes.
And also the memory will be better. Sometimes even you don't need to repeat things 2 times. You need to come back to look, I did it, I didn't did it, I closed the gas, I didn't close. But if you train yourself in the morning, you do mindful postration, maybe even 5 minutes or 10 minutes walking, and then 5 minutes or 10 minutes sitting, better than only mindfulness daily life. You train 2 times a day, better for you. How much you make it more, better for you. This is a tool for you to use. How much we can be concentrate, how much we can be mindful. I don't know about Germany, but in Israel today, very, very famous. The children, they cannot be concentrate. They give them Ritalin. Focus, everything very nice. Only the children kaput. But the teacher, very nice. Papa, mama, very nice. While children is very relaxed. But what is this? Making the children zombie? Why don't you teach them to be concentrating? Many ways to teach even children. When I was in the kindergarten, they teach me the hand up on the hand, on the shoulder, 1, 2, 3. This is mindfulness. Many ways. You teach them play football. Very happy. They like to play football. But with Achtsamkeit, they play much better. One time even the teacher from basketball, invite me to teach in this school. Actually the game is less important than the mindfulness. You teach them mindfulness, they will play much better. The teacher has 1 year to teach them. If you take it slowly, teach them how they run, how this, you can teach them all the games much faster than games. And this also will help them to their life. And if you practice in the morning, you make mindful postration, 5 minutes walking, 5 minutes sitting in the morning, you learn yourself in the morning. People that have difficulties in the morning, maybe some fear or worries or other things, I don't know, all these things, maybe they get lazy in the morning, many problems, different kind of problems. Practice in the morning, they will look at this problem in the morning, they slowly learn to overcome it. When usually this problem coming to us, we are looking the way out to run away. I have reason to open the newspaper, or I have reason to open the radio, or to look at television, or whatever, or to look Geshpatzin, or whatever. But actually this is running away from something that I don't want to see. It's not nice to go to the bank to see I have overdraft. But people say you cannot run away from problems. If you want to overcome problems, you have to deal with them. You have problem in the bank, you have overdraft in the bank, first you have to go to the bank. You have to deal with the man there. I don't know what it is. You have war inside, you have to look at the worry, to learn to overcome from it. That's why when you are practicing in the morning, you learn to overcome difficulties of morning. You are building yourself in the morning. When you practice in the noon, you learn to overcome difficulties of noon. You learn yourself in the noon. You are building yourself in the noon. When you practice in the evening, you learn yourself in the evening. You learn to overcome difficulties of evening. You are building yourself in the evening. Any time during the day is beneficial. Slowly, by the time, the life is improving and improving. Not by closing the eyes, by open, by looking. This is it. Okay. So thank you very much for all of you. I wish you all find the real happiness. Thank you very much.